What is up, nieces and nephews? Deadly Uncle Fresh here. Just stopping in to talk to you about a couple of fragrances. I woke up, it was a little bit rainy, a little bit cool. So it's not a cold rain, but it's not a warm rain either. So I wanted to talk to you about a couple of fragrances that I think would work great in this weather. Because they'll transition nicely and they smell pretty good. Not gonna lie, they smell pretty good. They do. Because it's not too hot, but it's not too cold either, so you want to be covered in all aspects, right? Uncle's got you. Don't worry, I got you. So, let's talk about the first one. It's going to be Versace Eros. This is the eau de toilette version, and as you can see, this is a massive bottle. Like, my hands are not small by any means, but this is a 200 ml bottle. So, and from what you can see there, if you can see it at all, I don't know, but there's quite a bit missing. I did decant this out a couple of times though, so as much as it looks like I use it a lot, I generally save this for the fall, winter weather. But yeah, you can see I've decanted out a bit, and I've used quite a bit of it as well. Most people associate this fragrance with a clubbing fragrance, like going out to the bars, going out to a club. Just splash some of this on, and yeah. But nowadays, people are using this as an office scent, and I can't disagree with that. It opens up fresh, minty apple that sticks around for a while, and then it transitions into a powdery vanilla woodsy dry down, which smells amazing. It gets a little bit sweet, not too sweet, but it does have a little bit of sweetness to it, which I like. Because yeah, I think it'll work great in this type of weather where it's kind of chill. It's kind of not gonna get that warm, and it's gonna chill out during the night. So I'll be covered because it'll go from a freshy to a nice sweet vanilla powdery tail end finish, which I like. So I think that one would work great in this type of weather we're having right now, where it's a little bit rainy, hazy, whatnot, and it's kind of chill. It'll cover you for the freshness. It'll cover you for your the dry down is amazing too. For when the weather chills out, you need that little bit of push. It does have that, so highly recommend that one for this type of weather. And the second one I'm going to recommend would be its flanker. This is Versace's Eros Flame. And as you can see, as I told you, my hands are not that small. That was just a big bottle. So this bottle is a 100 milliliter bottle. And if you want to see the difference between them, I was surprised when I picked them up. Like, that is quite the difference. As you can see. Like, this is a 100 ml bottle. This is a 200 ml bottle. This thing makes my hands look small. This thing makes my hands look normal. But anyway, getting away from the subject. But this one here, I think would work great in weather like this because it opens up citrusy. Let's see here, did I pull up the notes? I believe I do. Guys, on the top end of this one, you're going to get mandarin orange, chiodo, something, lemon, Madagascar pepper, and rosemary. So, a lot of citrus is on top of this one. And then, it says the heart notes, which are the mids. It's going to have pepperwood, rose, and geranium. I don't get any of the florals off of here. Might be just me. But the florals they mentioned in here, the rose and geranium, I don't really get too much of it, which is okay with me because yeah. But other than that, this stuff will work in this weather. It's amazing. I bought this probably about beginning of summer, and I've even been able to rock this during the summer. Like, you can see how much is in there. I don't think you can, but there you go. I've rocked this a couple of times in the summer, more towards the evening because I work at night. And yeah, it's worked fine for me. Temperatures are like 20 plus degrees. So I went with this a couple times and it works in the high heat, and I'm thinking it'll work in this cooler weather as well, because it does have the DNA of Eros anyways, where it's going to dry down to that little bit of a sweet powdery vanilla dry down, right? So those are two to keep in mind for, like, let's say it's a kind of muggy weather and it's not cold out but it's not hot out, right? So you're just like, oh, and you're wanting to reach for, let's say, your blue fragrances like Dylan Blue, Dior Sauvage, Bleu de Chanel, something like that. Maybe try something like this. It'll work. The freshness on top of this is pretty amazing, and then it dries down to that powdery, sweet vanilla dry down that you'll be like, oh wow, that. And when the weather starts to drop out on you, where it starts to chill out at night, and you smell that vanilla sweetness and that powdery dry down, you'll be like, oh, I'm glad I went with this one. I think Eros Flame will do the same thing, but it's a little more citrusy than fresh, which is actually kind of a good thing, because if you had two just fresh fragrances, don't get me, it would be kind of, I'd be like, why do you even call it flame? But yeah, so this one I'm rocking today, and it's working quite nicely for me, because when I'm moving around I get hints of the citrus notes on the top end, and then I'm looking forward to the dry down of this one, because it does dry down like an Eros. Like Eros Eau de Toilette gets that little bit of sweetness, a little bit of powderiness, and a little bit of vanilla in there. So I'm looking forward to that as the day goes on. But so far, in this cooler, rainy, wet weather, it's working nicely for me. And I highly recommend you guys giving them a sniff and seeing how you like it, because as you can tell, I like them. Like, come on, they're I bought this at the beginning of summer, and that's quite a bit missing from it. So yeah, I'd highly recommend you guys checking these out, because they will work in, like I say, cooler weather. And like I said, I've used Eros Flame in weather plus 20 degrees, and it's worked perfectly fine for me. I just had to readjust my spray routine a little bit, not lay it on so heavy. But during the winter months, I'm looking forward to giving it a shot in the winter and seeing how that goes, because that citrus openings would kind of makes me wonder, because Eros, it does well in winter weather. Like, oh, okay, it's snowing out, it's blizzardy, and you can throw on Eros and you'd be perfectly content with it. But I'm looking forward to seeing how the flame version of it handles this, because like I said, I bought it at the beginning of summer, wore it a few times. I'm trying to remember if I decanted it out. I can't remember, but I think that might be just me all wearings. So I just thought I'd pop in, tell you all about them, give you guys a shot to check them out. If you run across them in a department store, give them a sniff. You might just like them, because I do. So what else was there? Alright, have a good day. Alright people, stay deadly fresh.